So, guys, please meet Sandra from Hot Island.
Hot?
Very, very hot, yeah.
Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Sandra. So we can hear your screen. I think we're ready. If you're ready,
okay.
Just ping me and we can start.
Okay. Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me. It's my pleasure. So, as I was introduced, my name is Sandra. I've been working for Tempo for 5 years now, and I'm the partner manager, and Teamlead is one of our partners. So it's my pleasure to take part in this event. I'm also a certified Jira administrator. So I've been in this business, like the Atlassian world, for now 9 years, and I love it. So I want to talk about Tempo today and tell you about the products that we produce. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about the company. So the company's headquarters are based in Iceland, and we produce 3 different add-ons, all intended to extend the power of Jira. We have Tempo Timesheets for time tracking, Tempo Planner for planning work, and then Tempo Budgets for financial management. In my presentation, I want to cover all 3 on a high level, and then if you have any questions afterwards, feel free to ask.
Okay.
So a few key figures from Tempo. Tempo has been around for 9 years. We first launched Tempo Timesheets 9 years ago, and then we have been working on the other products, and we launched Tempo Planner in 2012, and then Tempo Budgets 2 years later. Today we have over 80 employees and over 10,000 customers in more than 100 countries. So even though our headquarters, here's an example of some of our customers. So we are serving big and small customers all around the world in all sectors. So these are just some brand names that most people are familiar with. And so even though our headquarters are in Reykjavik, Iceland, we also have offices today in Montreal, Canada, and San Francisco. Sorry about some German there, but San Francisco, United States, of course. So let's dive into Tempo Timesheets. Tempo's Timesheets goal is to make time tracking in Jira as painless and powerful as possible. We all know that tracking time is not really much fun, but we are trying to make it as easy as possible and allow users to spend their time in a more productive manner. All of the screenshots and videos I'm going to show you in the presentation is from the Tempo server versions, but we have Tempo Timesheets and Tempo Planner available on cloud also. And the user interface on cloud is slightly different than I will be showing here today. So this is Timesheets, and this is where users can log work. We released this view 1 year ago. We call it the Workload calendar. So this is one of the places users can log work. And when users are in this view, they can drag issues to easily log work, or just simply click on the plus sign and find the issues they want to log work on. And we also make it easy for users to copy work logs between days, move work logs between days, and delete work logs if they need to do that. And this is a typical week overview for one user, where he can see all his work logs for each day. And as I said, move them around or delete them if he needs to do that. Users can also...
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
I think we have a question here. If it's okay if I address this question.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
А вот предыдущий слайд, соответственно, на нем мы видим workload и можем делать записи, да, о произведенных работах по той или иной задаче. А вот вопрос, можно ли планировать эти самые записи или нет?
So, Sandra, the question on the previous slide, it's mentioned that it's possible to track the tasks, but is it possible to plan these tasks before they are tracked? So I think that's the question.
Yes, it is possible. With with Tempo Planner, you will be able, and we just released that yesterday actually on server. So when I played the video, there was like a plus sign that appeared, so we can see that now. First she tracks the issue, and you can see the plus sign. So today, in the most recent version, when you hover over the plus sign, you will get prompt with options to either plan or log work. So if you plan the work, it will show on this screen, and you can just then click on the plan and convert it to work logs.
Okay, thank you. Let me ask. Это ответ на вопрос? Прошу прощения, да. Ну, смысл в том, что при создании задачи, при нажатии на плюсик, можно выбрать либо трекать задачу, либо создать, либо запланировать. Да. Here is another question. Just a second. Да. The question is it possible to plan being in a role of project manager, let's say for a team, not for personal use, right? As an individual, as a personal. Let's say we have a project that we need to plan for a team. That's the question.
Yes, so that would be done on the team timeline, and I will show you screenshots and videos on that in a minute.
Okay. In this case, I suggest we proceed, and then if there are questions, we address them. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Please do so. So I'll continue. So if we continue to focus on the logging work, users can also log work within a Jira issue. So if you have an issue open, you can log work from there, and you can also start a tracker. So Tempo Timesheets has something called Tempo Tracker. You can see it at the bottom of the screen. So it's like a stopwatch. So we can just click on play, have it roll while we are working, then we click stop, and it automatically populates the number of minutes we spent, the number of minutes we had the tracker on. And then we can log the work, and you can see within the issue view also your logged work on that particular issue for the current time period. So this is picking up work logs for 1 month at a time.
Okay, Sandra,
if you want to get...
Sorry, here is another question. Okay?
Прошу прощения. Итак, если мы посмотрим на доску, предположим, что у нас есть некий пул задач для разработчиков. Можно ли сделать так, что как только разработчик берет из пула задач и переносит ее, соответственно, в колонку, например, кодинг, автоматически запускается учет времени? Сколько времени эта задача провела в кодинге, прежде чем перевел ее там в тестинг-пул или в доработку или еще куда-то?
Okay, the question is the following. Is it possible, so such a case, you have a task and you're going to take this task into a coding phase, let's say coding column or test column, whatever, right? And after this action, the tracking starts automatically. Is it possible?
No, that is not possible without some customization. You need to manually click on the start button.
Okay, I think that's the answer. Thanks.
Okay. Yes, so within the issue view, we have a tempo section here where you can see the logged hours. You can click on the report button to see a report on all work logs done on this issue. You can log work, and then also you have the time tracking section here and the collaborators section, where you can see and compare the estimated hours to the actual logged hours. And you can also see here in the collaborators what employees have been logging work on this particular issue.
Okay.
The next slide is about the mobile app. We have a mobile app that you can download. It's available both for iPhones and Android. And the mobile app can connect to both Jira Cloud and Jira Server. And we can also connect it to either Google Calendars or Office 365 calendars. And as you can see here on this screenshot, we can see the tempo plans. So if we as users have something planned, we see the plan here and we can then convert it to work logs. If we have a Google Calendar event, we will also see that and we can convert that to work logs. And then we also have the tracker. So we can start the tracker on the phone and we can actually have multiple trackers ongoing at the same time. And then when we stop the trackers, we can log hours.
Okay.
As for reports, Tempo Timesheets offer various reports for managers, project managers, team managers, and others, where you can customize what you are viewing. In this example here, we are viewing a team report. So you can see that we have the team selected here, and the team name is Green Cloud Tango. These are the team members, and we can see a summary of their work logs. We can expand the view for each user to see on what projects the user has been logging time on. And then we could even go into more details and switch from this view, which is called the timesheet view that you see here up in the right corner. And if we switch to a report view, we will get a detailed report with every single work log listed. All these reports can be exported to Excel through this export button here. And then we can also report on other things such as project report, account report, issue report, and then we can create our own Jira filters and report on those.
Okay, thanks. It's clear as for now.
Yes, and within the teams, since I mentioned teams in the previous slides, in Tempo, you can create teams, and when you have created teams, you can navigate from the team to planning, which is Tempo Planner, to the time tracking, which was shown on the previous slide. And then we also have approvals. The approvals are for the timesheets. So if you want to have your users to submit their timesheets for the team lead to approve, you can enable that feature. And this is how it would look for the supervisor who is approving the timesheets. So here we have overview of all the team members, and we can see who have submitted their timesheets. And the team lead can, from this page, go and approve or reject the timesheets or submit them on behalf of his team members. And this can be done either on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, depending on how you configure it. Then the next one. In Tempo, we also have something called accounts. And accounts, just like teams, is something that goes across all our products. And in this slide here, we are showing how accounts can be used to view a utilization report for the team. So when using accounts, all hours are grouped into capitalized, operational, internal, and billable hours. So we have a high level 4 categories. And that is being displayed here as a utilization report. In this view here, we are viewing the utilization per week, but we could also go and switch to a view for team members, and then we would see the utilization of each team member.
Okay.
And here we have some customer stories. These are customers that are using Tempo timesheets. And we can see here that stars, they have saved quite an amount of money just by using timesheets, because with timesheets, they have gotten more accurate time tracking. And before they had timesheets, they had difficulty in tracking time on objectives and related to the capitalized and operational expenses, which is very important for them. So now they can do that quite successfully and are saving a lot of money from that. Then we have Icelandair, which is using timesheets to capture hours to bill to their clients. So there's Icelandair Technical Services. They are have maintenance for aircrafts for various airlines, and then they bill them for their work. And they, using timesheets has reduced the invoicing errors that they were facing before. So let's switch to Planner, where we go over how Planner can allow you to easily plan work in Jira and have a complete overview of your resources. So again, we start by focusing on the team. It is very important. Yes?
Here is a question from the guys here. Да, передайте, пожалуйста, микрофон.
Я на русском задам тогда. Вопрос по темпо таймшит, так я понимаю, закрыта сейчас эта тема. Мы пользуемся клауд-версией, и есть ли возможность согласовывать сотруднику, работающему на двух проектах, таймшит у двух менеджеров проектов, чтобы количество часов отработанное на одном проекте подтвердил один человек, количество часов на другом проекте другой человек. И я знаю, что на данный момент нет. Когда это будет возможно?
А еще раз кейс, то есть два человека работают...
Один человек работает на двух проектах, и два человека должны подтвердить его таймшит. Возможно вот направить на двух разных?
Okay, so the question, the case is the following. One person works on a project, on two projects, right? And there are two, let's say, project managers. Is it possible then this individual submitting the spreadsheets for these two project managers, and they will need to accept or reject these hours from this person?
Yeah, so this is one of the most popular question I get, and unfortunately, it's not possible at the time. When users submit their timesheet, they submit it as a whole, and it's approved or rejected as a whole. However, because it's a popular question and a popular feature request, we are working on ways to improve the approval process and allow users to customize what scope they are approving each time. So this is something that we will implement in the future.
Okay, but maybe you know about the roadmap. Do you know when we're going to implement such feature or something similar?
No, I don't know when, but this is the only thing I can say is it's one of the top priority features.
Okay, thanks. That's the answer.
It's in the design phase now, so we have been going in. We've already been through few iterations of how is what is the best way to solve this, because we have different requirements from customers. So we're trying to solve it so it will fit everyone's needs. And we are now in the phase of iterating the design.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. So if we move back to Planner, what is really important in terms of planning in Tempo is to have the team properly set up, because you need to know, and we need to calculate correctly the availability of every employee. And part of that is to add the team members correctly to the teams. And here you can see that we have added a few members to the Tango team. we can set them to a specific role, and then we have the availability. So the availability is used to calculate the team members' availability in this team. We also need to have the joining and leaving dates correctly set up, because if somebody is joining in the future, then we need to set the joining date to make sure that he is unavailable to be planned on before he joins the team. And then when he leaves the team, we can set the leaving date so he will become unavailable for planning after the leaving date. And then also we have some team permissions. In the team, we can grant people browse team permission, which allows them to view the team overview page and assign issues to teams. Then we also, related to the approval process I just showed earlier, we have the approved timesheet permission. So here we add the people that we want to be able to approve the timesheets. Then we have plan time, which relates to what I'm going to show you next. So these are the people who are allowed to plan for other people in the team. Everyone can plan for themselves, but in order to plan for others, you need to plan time permission. Then in Tempo Planner, we also have a resource overview, which is to make it simple for you to find available resources. So in this overview, we have all users, and the green and the red is showing us planned time. So the coloring is that the green, where we have 8 hours planned, means that they are fully planned. If we have the red color, it means that they are over planned. So we need to fix that if we are not going to have them work overtime. Then if I just play this again, you can see the over planned hours. Here you can see how we can search by different roles. So if we are, for example, looking for a developer, we can just filter by all developers, and we can see the available developers. And then we have also filtered by 60 hours because we need a developer that's available for at least 60 hours in the current month. And this would be the results. When we get results, we can always save them. And here to the left, you can see the saved results. So you can easily just click on the filters to have an overview of the different employees. So here we have the developers. If we want to find marketing people, we will just click on the marketing filter, and so on. So in this view today, it's only reporting. So it's only showing you information. In the future, we want to allow users to plan from this view directly. But today, you need to plan from the timeline. So this is the timeline, and the timeline focuses on one team at a time. So this is where the manager can plan for all his team members. So you can see here how he's fine-tuning the plan. And in this case here, the manager is planning issues on individuals. And he has an issue list here to the left, and he can just drag and drop the issues. You can also plan other items. So you can plan on projects, versions, components, issues, and sprints. And if you want the whole team to be working on the same sprint, for example, or project, you could plan on the top line. You can see we have no plan on the top line here, but we can plan on the top line, and then the plan will be automatically populated to every single team member in the team.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay. And the next one is in Planner, we also have something called programs. Programs is a group of teams.
I'm sorry, we have a question.
Okay.
Хотел уточнить просто. Она говорит, что если в верхнюю колонку Тима поставить задачи, да, он будет, соответственно, разбрасываться на всех остальных. А по какой логике он будет разбрасываться? То есть он в равном количестве времени будет на каждую распространяться, или там можно как-то ее забить изначально? То есть кто-то занимается этими тасками больше, а этот меньше и так далее.
Sandra, can you please go back to the previous slide?
Okay.
And yeah, I think here it is. As we understood, you have Green Cloud Tango as a project, right?
As a team. So that's the team, people team.
Okay, it's the team. And I think the question, is it possible to drag and drop a task into into a team level, right? And after the task will be broken down into separate tasks for the teammates, right? Does it work this way?
Yeah, so let me just, I'm just gonna exit this for a minute. And can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna show this to you live. So here we have a team. Oops. And we can go and have the iterations. So these are sprints, for example. So here I have plans. I can click on the plus to create a new plan. I can create issue plan, project plan, version, component, or sprint. If I just click on the project, I get to select from the project list. Then I can write a summary for the plan. Like entire team should work on this project. And we are going to make that last for the entire week. And people are supposed to work, we can say 100%, or maybe only 20%, or for 20 hours. Then we have planned, and you can see how it reflects down to all team members, unless they have something planned directly. So because Jessie has this issue planned directly on her, she is expected to work less in the team plan. But if I just go and move the issue, then the hours will change and you can see them update.
Okay.
So the total hours here are divided between the staff.
I'm not sure I got the bottom line. So what's the logic under it? How the hours are spread on these 4 people?
So it depends on the availability. When you set up, when you add the team members to the team, you set their availability, and like Lars is only 75%. So that's why he is working less than Jessie, for example. Scott, even though he is 100% in this team, he is only a part-time employee. So that's set somewhere else. We have a workload scheme where you define how many hours each day the employee works. So he works less hours a day than the others. He's only 50% employee. So that's why he gets less hours in his plans. So the plans are divided based on the percentage for the hours. So if I I'm going to put 20 hours, and this is how they spread. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes, thank you. I think it's clear for now. There is another question.
Okay.
То есть изначально где-то распределяются проекты, в которых участвует каждый из участников команды. И, соответственно, если он участвует условно в 2, добавляется 3, то, я так понимаю, проект сам выбирает, какое количество, в процентном соотношении времени он может на тот или иной проект тратить. То есть, и условно, он может быть в Green Cloud Tango, в White Cloud Tango, в Red Cloud Tango, да, и на каждого у него там 25, 25 и 50. То есть это изначально закладывается где-то где? В какой-то логике?
Это в командах закладывается там есть меню редактирования команд, и вы, собственно, в командах распределяете, что у вас в одной команде сотрудник на 50%, во второй команде на 25%, в третьей команде остальные 25%. При этом с каждой командой ассоциируются те проекты, в которых она, собственно, работает. Да? И у вас, соответственно, Teamlead делит сотрудника. Вот если у него из 8 часов доступно 4 часа в команде, и они делают 3 проекта, то он сам решает, на что эти 4 часа, на каком проекте сотрудник потратит.
То есть есть ответ на вопрос, да?
Ну, я просто, видимо, либо пропустил, либо...
Окей. А вот еще вопросик. Ага.
Уточняющий вопрос. В портфолио есть возможность выбрать человека по навыку. Здесь, как я понимаю, логики этой нет.
Как выбрать, я не услышал?
По навыку. Допустим, здесь есть 20 часов, и они независимо от навыка делятся на всех людей. Допустим, один из них не умеет что-то делать из всего проекта. Как избежать того, чтобы на него упала задача, которую он не сможет?
Это крутой вопрос. Сейчас задам, попробую. Sandra, the very interesting question about this tool. So, is it possible to assign a task to a person based on a person's skills? Let's say one person possess very good, I don't know, management skills, right? Another person is very good at something else, engineering skills, and the system should automatically understand who's going to take this task, one person or another person. That's the bottom line.
No, unfortunately, that is not possible. The only thing we offer in terms of the roles is the overview I showed you previously, where you can find the appropriate person based on the roles. They are in here.
Okay, so yeah, it's possible to assign and take the people based on the role, right?
Yes, so you can find the right person, and then, well, in our upcoming releases, you can just directly plan it in this view.
Okay.
Okay. So
It's clear, thanks.
Okay, so let's continue. We've gone through this.
Could you help me understand how much time you need to finish? Because we now run out of time. To understand.
Yeah, so I have a few more slides to go. I have one product to go.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
So maybe 10 minutes, depending on the question.
Okay.
So to finish up with Planner, we also have the program level, which is to roll up teams. So you see here on this view, we have 3 different teams linked to this one product development program. And this is a higher level of planning because we only show epics and the epic statuses. So we can see here the status of each epic. We can see what team is working on what epic. And then we have a roll-up of the hours. So we can see, if we just focus on this week 19 here, we can see the total logged hours for the epic and all linked issues. And then we can see the remaining estimates of all the linked issues. So here we automatically flag the epic if it's at risk or if it's over budgeted hours. And that is based on the original estimate on the epic itself. And the last, I think this is the last slide from Planner. It's the team capacity report. So this is also based on the team, and we can see how much each person in the team is planned and how much time they have available. And we can switch from that view from planned to only time available if we choose to do that. It will give us a more simplified view where we only see the hours the team members have available. And as I said before, Planner is also integrated with the mobile app, so you can see the individual plans in the mobile app. For all our products, we offer API access. So you can use REST APIs or servlet APIs with our products. And this is just an example of the documentation that we have to offer. And just to give you an example, one of our biggest customers, which is Y&R, which is an international agency, they use our APIs from Tempo Planner a lot. So they have customized their own reports where they use the APIs. So they have the report of that shows planned time for all the different Jira projects. Then they have a team overview showing the utilization for every team member. And they have generated an automatic email to all the team members showing them their planned task list for today. So this email is sent daily automatically, pulling information from Planner, giving you a list of the tasks that you should be working on today. Then a couple of customer stories from Planner. Mervert in Germany, their challenge was the lack of transparency between their teams. Nobody could see what any of the teams were planned to work on. So they are using Planner and giving everyone access to each other's team plans, which has really saved them time. And Relation One, they were using Excel to plan before, which caused them to have multiple versions of the Excel sheet and numerous and outdated version causing them conflicts. And now they have everything in Planner with the same transparency as Mervert just described. So the last product I wanted to give you insight to is Tempo Budget. And Tempo Budget basically just brings the financials into Jira. So Tempo Budgets can calculate and convert all the hours into financial information. In Tempo Budgets, you can create portfolios and folios. Portfolios are used to group together folios. So the basis is always the folio. And you can create folios based on different scopes. So a folio could be a Jira project, it can be Tempo account, it could be Tempo customer, it can be a JQL query from Jira or a saved filter. It can basically just be whatever you need it to be. You just define the scope. So you can look at, think of folios as projects. And here is the overview page for all the folios, where you can switch between views. You can have just a list view of all the folios, or you can have this timeline view, which shows you at a glance the start and end dates of all the different folios and gives you an indicator if the folio is behind schedule or over budget or ahead of schedule. And here we have clicked on one particular folio. This folio is called the Web Development Projects. So this is the overview page. You can see that we can scroll here between the different pages within the folio. On the summary page, we just have the overall overview. We have the summary, we have the progress, we have the finance information, like how we are doing according to plan. So in folio, we both have the actuals, we have the planned, either cost and revenue, or like both or one or the other. And then we can see the staff members associated with the folio. If we just jump right into the costs, so here we have, oops, sorry about that. So here we're in the cost section, and the cost section is divided up to planned cost and actual cost, and forecasted cost. So the plant cost, the plant cost is something that you just plan in the beginning. Plans can be, we have flexible planning, so you can create the plans based out of different criteria depending on your needs. And it would take too long to go through all the different options, but there are a lot of options when creating the plan. Then when you are into the actuals, we are just using the actual worklogs from the staff. So we have linked employees to the folios, and we pick up the worklogs from those individuals, the worklogs that they add to the issues of the folio. And that converts into an actual cost. So we have the comparison of the planned cost versus the actual cost. And then based on the scope of the folio, we can forecast about the future. So the forecast is based on the remaining estimates of the issues, the set end date, and the planned cost we have added. Yeah, so this is the overview. Again, we have the issue overview, and folio is also in there because you can add additional costs to the issue. And when you add additional costs to the issue, it will show up in the actual costs of the folio. So you have the direct link to the issue and where you have the cost. And then in each folio, you have access to the different reports, and you can customize the reports. As you click on one report, you have some options to customize what you're seeing. And this showing the steering committee report, which is basically showing like the status of the project. So the final slide. So we have 2 customer stories of folio. So BAE system, their challenge was to deliver projects on fixed cost and scope. And with tempo budgets, they have managed to like have the project cost in real time, so they can act immediately if they are if they need to take some action. And the same with Precipio, they need to track if a project is going over budget, and having the information in real time is really helping them to step in before it goes over budget. So that was it. I'm sorry about going so much over time.
I think we're good. Yeah, go ahead.
Any questions in the end?
Есть ли вопросы?
As for now, we're good. I think we covered all the questions we've had. So thank you for the cases. Thank you for the information, for this very useful introduction. I think we are...
Okay, well, thank you too. And if you ever have any questions, you can always contact us or contact me, and I will get back to you. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, sure. Sandra, thank you very much.
Have a great day.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.